Hello YouTube, Eddie Bones 13 back again. It's been a while. For some of you it hasn't been a while, and this is going to be funny, but I just actually uploaded a knife review of this knife last night. After sitting back and watching it, I realized that I must have been sounding like I was smoking some of the best Colorado ganja that there is, because the whole video was and I mean, it was just awful. It's okay to say and every once in a while when you're trying to catch your phrases, you're trying to catch your words. I don't practice these videos. I don't edit them. I just come straight out with them. So it's okay to have an occasional and but this was absolutely horrible. So I deleted the video. For the 12 of you that already watched this video, I feel sorry that you have to see it again. I'm going to redo this video and make sure that I try to leave the long uhs and ums out as much as possible. I can't promise it's going to be all the way out, but I'm going to do it as much as possible. So, the reason why I'm redoing this video is because I really believe this knife deserves a spot on my channel. It's very budget friendly, very sturdy, very solid. Let's just get into the knife and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's a design that's been out for a while now. What you're looking at here is the Kizer Vanguard Series Kane. Okay, now this is a collaboration between Matt Degnan, custom knife designer, and Kizer knives. Okay, and what I really think the big deal about this knife for me is how smooth, how heavy duty, the features that actually come with this knife for only $83. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let's get a quick close-up of this handle here. So what you're looking at here is all G10 on top of some really thick steel liners, which I'll go over later. Then you have stainless steel bolsters. So right away you're getting stainless steel and G10, which, you know, a lot of people, yeah, basic, okay. Then what I did is I took a pocket clip off another Kizer knife that I have that the bolt patterns matched, and I put that on here. So you have a titanium pocket clip, which this did come with a titanium pocket clip, but I took the one off another knife that was blue. I thought it would just give it a pop of color, and I think it looks phenomenal. I think this needed some color. It was just all silver and black with a silver pocket clip. Really big one too. I'll show it to you. It's a nice pocket clip, and it is titanium, so I can get it later anodized and then replace this one back on my other Kizer knife and use the original pocket clip on here, which will look beautiful. It's a big fat pocket clip, and I'll show you later in some comparisons. So G10 stainless steel handle. Let me go over some specifications. I'll give you some thoughts about this knife, as I always do throughout the whole video, and then I will give you some close-up details about this knife that I really think you're going to want to take a look at. Just you know, basically explain them to you. This knife is self-explanatory by looking at it. So let's go ahead and get started. So G10 stainless steel, gorgeous knife, gorgeous pocket clip. Flipper, very nice flipper. No jimping. People are going to say, you know, well, what's up with the no jimping? You know, well, here's the deal. This knife is almost like a Tashi style knife, so really you can get a good grab on this knife by just sliding down and pulling down, and you're going to see that right here in that action. So it doesn't really need it. The way it curves up, it's perfect. You don't need no jimping. But it would be nice to have some. It's always nice to have jimping. So that's a little negative, I would say, but it's not enough to make it a deal breaker. This knife is also accessible through push buttoning it as well. So as you can see there. So nice flipper, nice looking body. Okay, very ergonomical, almost fighter style. Comes down, kind of cups your hand, and we'll show you that later. You got a couple standoffs here. And that's basically it. So you're looking at a handle length of 5 inches. Okay. In my video last night I said 4.8. That was wrong. It's actually 5 inches. I measured it. So a good length, a good perfect length, good for me, and good for a lot of people with larger hands like I have. Okay. Then you open this blade up, and that's where the beauty is. Look at that blade. It's absolutely gorgeous. We are sporting Vg10 steel, which to me is a good budget-friendly steel. I think, you know, it's been around for so long. The Japanese, I believe, were made this steel. It's very reliable, sharpens easily, stays sharp quite a long time. and has decent corrosion resistance abilities. So I really think Vg10 is just a good budget-friendly steel, and I really have no complaints with it. So, and still haven't. All the Vanguard Series knives that I carry, I have the Vg10 steel, and it hasn't given me no problem. So right away you can see this humongous swedge, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the design of this. The harpoon, it's great because it's when your your thumb rests up here. You also have this cut-in troil right here that is nicely done, so you can really choke up on this big blade and get some fine cuts going. You know, I really love that. So the knife itself, the blade is gorgeous. It is a hollow grind, and it is considered a clip point blade. So you're looking at 3.5 inches on the blade, which I feel like is a little longer. I should have measured it. I believe they're talking 3.5 from here to here, but from if you were to measure all the way back here, I think you're looking at a little more like closer to 3.75 or larger. So it's just an all-around big knife. You can tell. I mean, this is, I wear an extra large glove, and look at it in my hand. It's humongous. Basically, altogether, you're looking at a grand total of 8.50 inches, which is, like I said, a large knife, but perfect. Now, this is where it might throw some people off and might detour people of wanting to purchase this knife. It's the weight, okay? The weight of this knife is 6.8 ounces. Now, go ahead and shut the channel off now if you don't want to go any further. I know a lot of you people like 5 ounces and under, and even smaller. Now, you got to remember, I'm a big guy. Like I've said before, 6'2", 270-ish pounds. A little 6.8 ounce knife is nothing to me. When I carry these knives, I do not carry anything else in that pocket. I don't want to be, if I have to pull the knife fast for fast use, I don't want to be grabbing my keys or my, you know, whatever out of my pocket instead of my knife. I always want just my knife. So if this is all I have in my pocket, 6.8 ounces is nothing. And I promise you guys, if you try this knife, you're going to feel the same way. The weight is not a factor, okay? It is a large, solid knife with stainless steel bolsters, G10, a big, thick blade, which, by the way, look how thick that is. You're looking at about 0.12 on the blade, and it just stays sort of thick all the way down up into the point. The point is thick enough where I think you could pry with. It's just a solid, beefy knife with a beefy blade. Real quick, I don't think I have the measurement of how thick it is, but I would say it's about a 1/2 inch thick, just by looking at it. So it's nice, perfect. Thick blade, 1/2 inch thick knife, big handle, big blade, gorgeous. I love this knife. So here we go. Back of the knife, Kane. There's the name. Matt Degnan is the designer. And the reason why I'm going to show some other Vanguard Series knives, because this blade seems to follow their Vanguard Series quite often, and I'll show you that later. Even though this was designed by Matt Degnan, I have another knife that was designed by Ray Laconico, and the blade is very similar. So very similar, a lot of very good similarities between them makers. So that's pretty much all the specifications on this knife. So let's go ahead and get into some thoughts about this knife. I really love this knife, if I haven't already told you. It's beefy. It's got great action. This is pretty much brand new. It's been carried a few times, but never has been broken in completely. And look at the action on this knife. I mean, it is smooth as smooth can be. It does ride on caged ceramic ball bearings. Now, you're looking at an $83 knife here. Caged ceramic ball bearings, and I also believe there is a ceramic detent ball in there, if I'm not mistaken. Lockup, perfect. I mean, you're looking at around 30-40%. Thick stainless steel liners. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this. And if you guys are hearing music in the background, that's my neighbors. They like to bump their stereo really loud. I do live in Denver, Colorado. Not that a lot of you would know what goes on here, but there is quite a bit of loud music bumping and cars bumping and you name it. So don't let that deter you from the video. I apologize. I would go down and set him straight, but I kind of like the guy, so let him bump. Anyway, so thick stainless steel liners. Like I said, I put this gorgeous titanium pocket clip, and let me go ahead and show you now the pocket clip that did come on this knife. I went ahead and put it on the knife that I took this pocket clip from. This is the Kizer, what is the name of this one? The Panthera from Tomcat Knives. This is the pocket clip that came on this knife. So you can see how much thicker that would be and how much better. But this is titanium, so I'm going to get this anodized for sure. And I'm going to get it thrown back on this knife and put this one back on here. There's a lot of difference in the thickness of the knife, so I believe this thick pocket clip belongs on this knife here. But this does look good for now, and I'm going to keep it there. So let's go ahead and do a comparison between these two real quick. This is the Kizer Panthera, and this is my new Matt Degnan Kane. So you can see, anyway, from this view, let's see if we switch it, if it looks different. Yeah, this is the view you want to look at it at. So you can see the difference in the handle length, and the blade length is if you line up the cutting edge, you're actually a little longer on the Panthera, but if you line them up pivot to pivot, they're about the same. So just a quick little comparison. I'm going to do some more comparisons a little bit later, but so there you go. That's kind of my ideas on this knife. Let's show you the centering. Centering's dead on. It's perfect. The camera kind of shows it off to this side a little bit, but when you look at it from my point of view, it's dead on. And even if it wasn't exactly dead on, it was off a little, for $83, that centering is money, I'm telling you right now. Okay, so let's go over a few details of this knife. So what you have here, like I said, is a clip point blade. It's gorgeous. It is a fingerprint magnet. That's fine because I am going to be using this knife a lot. It's something that's going to be carried in my rotation and used. I'm not going to not use this for 83 bucks. It's going to get some beating, I'll tell you what, and I know it can handle it. So gorgeous blade. Got that new Kizer symbol, Vg10. Gorgeous blade profile. Love it. So let's see here. Just kind of go along the back of the knife so you can kind of see the full. Let's show you these standoffs here. Standoffs are really nice. They're kind of designer, I would say. They're a little bit different than most standoffs. Along with the pivot, I love these rounded flat pivots. Simplicity at its best. I love how it's just simple. It goes with the knife very well. So I really like it. It's really great. There's really not too much more to say about this knife, and as far as details, everything I've shown you is what this knife is. Simplicity at its best. You don't really want to, for 83 bucks, you don't really want to expect you know, Damascus blades and stuff like that. But for 83 bucks, you are getting a fantastic knife, you guys. I guarantee you. You know, it's been a while since I've done a video. I'm kind of out of tune. I can tell already from this video, you know, I don't really have my what I want to say in order, but I do this off the cuff. I don't edit my videos. I don't add anything special. So I just really hope you guys can get an appreciation for this knife, how nice this knife really is, and hopefully get out and buy you one. The Kizer Kane. Now, this also comes in the Bladesmith series, which is all titanium handles with S35 Vg10 Steel. Gorgeous knife, gorgeous. It's around the $200 range, and if I hit my, don't hit my camera there. I would suggest giving that one a shot. Let's do a couple comparisons real quick, show you its size, okay? So right here we have the Kizer. This is another Vanguard series. This one I cut my own finger choil in. You can see, I think I did a pretty good job there. Really nice, can choke up on it. This is the Vanguard series Dorado. We'll put those first butt to butt, and you can kind of see the size difference there. Your Kane is just a little longer. Okay, pivot to pivot. The blades are almost the same. I would say they're right on track, about 3.5. This did come with the 3.6-inch blade, but I took some of it out, so you're pretty much close there. So that's with the Kizer Dorado, and this is also a Vanguard series knife, and like I said, very smooth. The Vanguard series knives are nothing to play with, you guys. I honestly don't think there is other knives in this category for this price, whether it be Kershaw, CRKT, or whatever. that can beat these Vanguard Series Kizer knives. Nothing out there can beat these. I guarantee it. I'm willing to bet on that. I can't think of one maker, one company that puts a knife this good out with ceramic bearings, this great of detent, this good of action for $83. I just don't, I can't think of any. So if you guys can put them in the comments, I would appreciate it. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me show you against the Kizer Vanguard Series Roach. Obviously you're gonna have a big difference here in handle size. Like you can see there, you put in pivot to pivot, your blade is about the same size. The Roach actually looks a touch bigger until you line up the cutting surfaces together. They're about the same size. But if you put in pivot to pivot, and the thickness obviously of this Roach, it just towers over this knife. Look, it disappears. So, and again, this is another Vanguard series, and this is what I'm telling you, all these knives were in the $80 range. Look how freaking smooth and how gorgeous. They're just absolutely phenomenal. So that's what I keep telling you about this Vanguard series. You need to get out and try this Vanguard series. Look at how everything lines up. I mean, the fit and finish of these knives is phenomenal. There's no transition feeling between this stainless steel and this G10. I mean, you can see it, but feeling it, it seems seamless. I mean, and it goes all the way around. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal, you guys. I would not hesitate on trying a cheaper knife, and that cheaper knife would be a Kizer Vanguard series, no matter which one you get. So there you go. There's a few comparisons. Let's see if I have one more here. Okay, here's the Kizer. This is the Bladesmith series. This is the all titanium, was S35VN. This is that comparison I wanted to show you earlier. This is a Ray Laconico design. Look at that. Besides the thickness, which I think the Ray Laconico is a little thicker, look at that blade style. They are so freaking similar. I mean, they look almost exactly the same. There's a little more of a curve down in here in the flat as opposed to straights on the Laconico, but you can kind of see what I'm saying. They follow this pattern and it just looks gorgeous. I love it. So let's try it. Let's do a little size comparison here on those two. You can see that the Laconico Intrepid is a lot shorter in the handle, but you're still looking at about 4.6, 4.7 on that, something around there. I don't have my notes on that one, so I couldn't tell you. And you're looking at about a 3.6 inch blade on here. So you can see cutting surface, it's way bigger. You line them up pivot to pivot, they're exactly the same. So there's another little size comparison there for you. Again, this is their Bladesmith series, and there's just no knives out there in even the Bladesmith series price that compare to Kizer. They are killing it right now. I mean, for 180 bucks you can get this knife, and it's absolutely phenomenal. All titanium, ceramic bearings, titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer. They're just gorgeous. The meaning of this video, besides adding it to my collection, is to really push the Kizer knives right now. I really love them. Yes, they're made in China. I don't care about that kind of stuff. That stuff doesn't bother me. I'll take a China knife any day if it produces quality like this. So I'll go ahead and leave you here with a couple action shots, and I hope you got a little info out of this video. Like I said, I don't edit, I don't do nothing fancy. I speak my mind and I speak the truth, and if I mess up, I mess up. I just keep going. I'm not an editor. I just do videos to show you guys how much I like these knives. So there you go, the Kizer Kane Vanguard series. As I say at the end of every video, YouTube, stay sharp, and you better get you one.